So for you, you were more ingrained in the environment. Is that what
Man,
you're saying?
and
You're
so
doing some dangerous things.
yeah, and so I was doing those things, but it wasn't because I wanted to.
Got you.
There was no money coming in the house.
Got you. Okay.
Right? So that I had to find a way to go get money. And the only way to get money
Gotta
was to be a
hustle.
part of that environment.
Right.
Right. So I had to, I'm getting ridiculed by my peers because I don't have the right clothes on or the newest clothes on. Right.
I'm
My
with you on
haircut
that.
wasn't cut. Right. I got all these things going on. And at the house, you know, sometimes I'm having sleep for dinner. Right. A lot of people can relate to that, having sleep for dinner, or there's not enough for everyone to eat. You know, there's very little. So there were times where I had to go out here and put my life in danger to feed my sisters and my mother. Right. So it came to that point where I was like, this is just I'm going to have to leave so that I can do better for them.
Man, I appreciate you sharing that, man, because, you know, we always talk to people who have arrived.
Yeah.
You know, they're successful. You're looking fresh.
I appreciate it.
Your
I
drink
appreciate it.
is
It was
sweet.
all for the podcast. It's all for
You know,
Empower Series.
But to your point, people don't see the process and where we've come from. So I appreciate you being vulnerable enough to share that, you know, hey, the beginning was like the vision you have for yourself wasn't like around you in the beginning.
It never starts there.
Right. It's like you're probably in the worst situation to have this dream of what's possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I always wanted more. I just didn't know how to get it. And one of the things I found out later on, and I know we'll get to it, is I've always been able to re-engineer what it looks like to get to where you're trying to go. Right. When it came down to college, I re-engineered how many classes and what the grades I needed to make in order to get out of there.
So what do you mean by re-engineer? You use some layman's terms.
All right.
Man.
So what I would do is I take the goal and I would work backwards down to what I need to do on a daily basis. Let's say, and I do this in the classroom because there's a lot of kids and there's adults out there who would like to make $100,000, right? $100,000 is $8,333.37 per month.
Right.
But that's a big number. So let's break it down some more. It would be about $297 per day. If you had a $20 t-shirt that you sold 15 times, that's $300. All you need to do is sell 15 shirts for 365 days, and that's how you get $100,000. That's how I do life. When I have an issue and a problem, I find the problem and I re-engineer to what I need to do to fix it, and then that becomes the daily thing.
Man, you know, that's how you do life, but that's how business do life.
Yes,
life, right?
Absolutely.
And what businesses do that's a little bit different than the model that you laid out from an individual perspective is they have employees.
Yep.
So they get the employees to do the hustling. Ain't nothing wrong about that too.
Absolutely.
Because most businesses are doing something valuable for the marketplace. And it's so big, you know, the person who started it can't do that hustle.
Yeah.
So they leverage themselves by having employees. And those employers are getting paid a good enough amount of money to afford their lifestyle, right? But to your point, the simplicity of breaking that down, that's like the daily hustle.
That's it.
Because every day we hustling, man.
Every
way
day.
or another, right?
One way or another. And if you can, so that will, at that point, you have to become a good leader, right? If you've re-engineered down to what the daily things need to be, now you need to automate or delegate into these different spaces and let everybody do their job. And most entrepreneurs don't do that. That's the bottleneck, because they're so ingrained in the everyday business that they're not willing to automate or delegate to people so that they can do their job. You don't have enough trust in them if you don't give them the job and step back so that you can do the more macro things.
Okay. So you got this system, right?
Yep.
Re-engineering got you through college.
Yep.
And, you know, you got your PhD.
Man, so that's crazy. So the PhD took me a little bit more time than usual, right? A lot of the laziness and the complacency kicked in kind of midway in, and I kind of put it on the back burner. It wasn't until the pandemic came and I had a whole bunch of time on my hands that I clicked. It was like, you know what? I can use this time real wisely and try and finish this out so I can get it done and I won't have to worry about it no more and it won't be on my list. So I buckled down and got to it, man. So there would be days where I'd be, 8 hours in on the dissertation and all this other stuff, and then another 4 hours on the game with my guys from Chicago, just trying to get away from the day-to-day life and what was going on at the time.